In this short video, I'm going to tell you how to stop worrying about losing your job. That's right, stop worrying about losing your job. Now, before I go into that, I'm going to keep it as brief as possible, but please, if you find this kind of topic valuable, I post quite a lot of stuff on YouTube about this kind of idea and how to help yourself and have a better life. So please subscribe to my channel, click the little thumbs up, and then when you subscribe, make sure you click the little bell thing. Ding! That means that you'll get notified when I post more videos or upload more stuff. Okay, so I'm Trevor Emden, International Success Coach. How do you stop worrying about losing your job? Well, the thing is, if that's what your worry is, you're looking at it from the wrong side, okay? Because why would you be worried about losing your job? Now, there might be lots of reasons, but I'm going to assume that the primary one is, well, where would money come from? As if your job was the source of your money. Now, you're looking at me like, well, you're insane. Of course that's the source of my money. That's where I get paid from. Yes. Now, I'm not saying, oh, I'm going to lose my job or I've lost my job. It doesn't matter. Hey ho. I'm not saying that. I do realize it is, of course, something to be concerned about, but that's not the same as being worried. Being concerned means I have to take that seriously and I have to do something about it. But it's the trying to do something about it that gets us into a mess, because we think that the job is the only source of income that we have. We get stuck on, well, then if I lose it, it's game over. So let me see if I can flip your thinking about this. Okay, so your job, your employer, or if you're self-employed, your customers, clients, whatever you have, pay you. Why do they pay you? They pay you because you provide something of value to them in some way, whether it's manual labor, whether it's whether you send out products, whether you send out digital stuff, whether you provide a service of some kind. Maybe you run a nail bar. I don't know. It doesn't matter what it is, but it's of value to them. And for that, they are willing to applaud you, because that's what money is. It's a thank you note with money, right? So, of course, if you lose your job, then your the place where you can apply value ceases to trade, and therefore you can't go to work, and therefore those people aren't around to pay you. But the source of the money comes from the value you provide. Now, you have a myriad resources of ways of providing value. Maybe in a completely different industry, you might have to pivot completely. Now, in order to get there, to do that pivoting, you have to stop thinking inside the box of, but the only way I can make money is by doing X, or even X or Y, and both those avenues are closed to me right now because we're in this situation, as I record this, in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, and so on. I don't know when you'll watch this or when that will be over, obviously, but there are all sorts of reasons why it may look as though circumstances are against you. What they've never taken away from you, what no one can ever take away from you, is you. You're the resource that causes something of value to happen. Now, I can't tell you what you could do instead. If it's me, for me, I think of things, I go to places like, well, I can write. In fact, there was a time, about 7 or 8 years ago, around about 2012, when I made thousands of dollars over the period of about a year and a half writing for someone else. It was writing to order, but based on a skill set that I have. Somebody approached me and said, could you write some material for this particular project? And there were like 200 or so, 200 or 300, I can't remember now, little mini things that I needed to write over a period of months. And for each one, I was paid extremely well. And I've done that before as well. I've written, ghost written for other people. So that's me. That's one of the things that now I know I can do it. But back at the time, I can't remember exactly what my situation. I wasn't losing my job, but I think a source of income was drying up. And in fact, my wife and I had a conversation about it. I said, what are we going to do if there's no more work? And the question that we asked each other, I said we should ask, is not what are we going to do, but how are we going to be? Right? And she said, what do you mean? And I said, well, right now we're being worried and frightened and anxious that there may be no more money. And she said, okay, so how should we be instead? And I said, well, let's just be playful. And at that moment, something very foot-tappy came on the radio. We were in the kitchen. And I said, come on, let's dance. And we got up around the kitchen. I took her hands and we just jigged around the kitchen and we had a little dance until the music stopped, which was about 2 minutes, I suppose. And then we giggled and we sat down back at the kitchen table and she looked at me and went, well? And for a split second, I thought, hasn't made any difference. A split second. But then I had another thought and I said, well, hang on a minute. Between us, in all of our lives, we're grown-ups, how many different ways have we made money? Let's make a list. And so, I can't remember, we got a pen and paper and we just started writing down what, when I was a kid, I used to deliver newspapers. I'm not really likely to do that now at my age. I can't remember all the things she'd done. She'd taught kids English as a foreign language because she's not a native English speaker. When she was a student, she'd made money in all kinds of other ways. And between us, I went, I know, I can write. Back in the 80s, I got published a few times in magazines, and they paid me. So I know I can write well enough to satisfy editors, and now we've got the internet, don't need editors. I can write, so I just put up a little profile about my writing skills and knowledge base on a site that doesn't exist anymore. Elance, it was called. It's been swallowed up by Upwork, I think, these days. And it was a Saturday, and I forgot about it, and the next day I got a reply saying, basically, if you write this for me, I'll pay you, I think it was $1,000. And that was the start of it. And then I got one contract after another for quite a while from then on. Right? So that was me. So the key to that was changing my state. It was stopping the thinking, stopping like, well, I can't do it. There's nothing I can do. I'm stuck. You've got to, however you choose to do it, meditate. Sleeping on it can work because that stops it, but not if you go to sleep kind of, I'm worried, and you're going to wake up in the same state. You have to learn to let go. So the dancing thing worked, but go jogging, go for a walk with the dog, whatever it takes to stop your brain just momentarily. That people have their best ideas in the shower, in traffic jams, in the toilet, because in those moments our brains are on idle. So stop thinking that the job is your only source of income. You have thousands and thousands and tens and hundreds of thousands of possible potential ways of doing something of value that people will pay for. Hope that's helped. So check the link, by the way, in the description below where you'll see there's a link to something where thinking outside the box kind of thinking, I attracted completely out of the blue, because you just follow the path, you follow the breadcrumbs, a total stranger who ended up paying my mortgage at a time when I thought I was going to lose my home. It was about 30 years ago. So I can tell you these things work out, but you have to let it go. So click the link below in the description, you'll see. All right, see you next time. Thanks for watching.